making 30% returns without lifting a finger. With Mez NFT, this is no longer just a possibility. Our groundbreaking platform allows you to invest in a mini farm and benefit from our sheep breeding operations. Earn up to 30% annual returns while we handle the hard work. Watch your investment grow as we manage and sell the flock of sheep. Our intuitive dashboard keeps you updated with real-time data on the flock, your investment's value, and expected payouts. Ready to join an exclusive community of savvy investors? Seize this opportunity to profit from cutting-edge agricultural innovation. Visit tgnpodcast.com, Mez, and become a part of the Mez NFT sheep breeding investment community today.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Golden Nuggets podcast. With us, we still have Mr. Umar Munshi.
Yeah. So, brother, can you share a bit of your struggles with ethics and also perhaps maybe when you are starting out Hassan, was there any struggles that you face in the past 10 years?
Sure. I guess my struggles are quite unique for the business that we do. For anyone interested in fintech or in financial services, regulations is the biggest challenge, right? Getting licensed, complying to the license, and so on. But that's quite boring. Yeah. But really, that is by far the biggest issue, biggest challenge, being regulated. It took us 3 attempts, 6 years to get regulated in Indonesia.
Ooh,
right?
Wow.
Not easy.
6 years.
6 years, yeah. But because we did that and because we have other licenses, over time we built our credibility. But that was the first time. Okay?
Yeah.
Recently, it's not really announced, but exclusive for this show.
Wow.
No, but I mean, not so relevant to Singapore, but we just got a license in Turkey
Wow.
for lending. So it took us about 6 months. So over time, we
The
learned
processes has already shortened. It's faster.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to exploring Turkey. We have a partner on the ground. But the other challenge is 2 things. I think one is partnerships or even investors coming to your company. Right? 'Cause I'm not a wealthy guy. I started when I had no money. Right? My co-founder also, because he was with me in the previous business.
Okay.
So we both lost a lot of money when then we started this business.
Yeah.
Right? We grew. We did well in various periods, and then a few times we had the wrong partner. And wrong partners, when I say wrong, can be many things, right? In our case, it was a big business group, very powerful, wealthy business group, but they had a different agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
They saw, these Singaporean guys in my country trying to get license. We will pretend to support them, invest in them.
Yeah.
Once we get the license, they want to do something else.
The agenda really
Really flipped.
flip. Yeah.
Took 2 years to understand what the agenda was. So very time consuming also. So by these are things you learn. So today we're very careful about who has influence over the company, who invests in the company. Right. So for any entrepreneur out there, if you're looking for a significant investor, please know who they are and make sure you're aligned with what you want to do. Right. The third challenge is actually finding and retaining the right kind of leadership talent.
Okay.
Because for us, we are a venture builder. I cannot run 5 companies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? I have leaders to run these companies. And we've had some really strong leaders, but sometimes a startup environment leadership is different from corporate world leadership.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you want young people, but Gen Z's a little bit different in their mindset. Quite difficult sometimes to work with them. Yeah, so getting and grooming leaders is challenging, especially when you can't pay as high as the market, right? But over time, I believe there are definitely people, as today more and more people who want to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that will over time solve itself, but that is a significant challenge. Getting good talent who are committed.
Okay. So far, the ventures that you have invested in, right? You touch on the part about startup environment and a bigger corporation environment is very different.
Yes.
Has there been cases where you have to replace the founder because they cannot thrive in the big corporation environment?
Okay. Usually founders at some point will make way for professional leaders and CEOs and all that.
Yeah.
At some point, I may not be the best person to lead Atis, right? Or Hassan, I'll employ someone. But usually that happens at a rather late stage, right?
Okay.
So most of the companies we invest in are very early stage, so are very founder driven. Yeah, so I mean, to answer your question, we have not had to force a founder out of his company. Not yet though. But the early stage is always founder driven, right? Only when you're almost like corporate size, big size, then you need some professional management.
Just now you mentioned in Challenge 2 that it took you like 6 years,
Yes.
right, to get the
license.
the license. So I want to try to find out like what made you not stop or give up?
Yeah.
Because 6 years is a long time.
And also like since the license wasn't there yet, how else were you getting revenue?
Right. No, we were still operating. The regulators didn't stop us while we were going through the licensing process.
Okay.
But yeah, to your question on how to continue. So earlier on, you asked me what are the criteria or things we look at for companies you want to invest in, right?
Yeah.
And one of the criteria was founders. Right? So when I say founders, it's also about the founders' dedication. Sometimes people like to use the word passion.
Yeah.
But I think it is more of the dedication towards the cause. Why does he want to do it? Right? If it's just to make money, and he has the skill sets and the capability to grow something that doesn't require passion, then fine. You can still invest in that.
Yeah.
Right? Because he knows how to do it. But if it's something difficult, something new, like what we are doing, then it all depends on the founder. Because companies fail when you look at the statistics when they run out of money.
Yeah.
But the reality is, companies can still continue without money if the founder doesn't want to give up.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the founder. Is the founder really, really committed to what they are building, or are they just there for the ride? You know? Yeah. So that's very important. For us, it was basically the passion lah.
Okay.
After I went through my downfall and all that. I made it. Me and my partner, we made it our mission to focus on spreading Islamic finance for everyone, not only for Muslims.
Okay. What are the this is if you can share the size of investment for the people in the accelerator group within Hassan. Yeah.
Right. Maybe I can just share a bit about how angel investments work, right? Because as general knowledge, because even very savvy finance people don't know. It's a very unique kind of business, right? So when you invest in a company, startup, technology startup, assuming you invest in the better ones, right? Some of them will become winners, meaning they will grow by 1,000 times, a few hundred times.
Yeah.
Right? Today they are worth 1 million. 5 years later they are worth 100 million, 200 million, 1 billion.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what all angel investors are looking for.
Yeah.
Investing in the next big thing.
Yeah.
Right. But the statistics show that only 3%, sometimes 5% of a portfolio of companies will reach that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So it's very, very critical for you to have a portfolio of companies. That means if you're an individual angel investor, you cannot invest in 1, 2 or 3. You must have at least 10, 20 companies in your portfolio.
Okay.
Right? And from this 10, 20, one hopefully will be super big. Right. So there's the traditional typical VC mindset, which is changing today. Today they're also looking at good companies in general. Okay, because you make your money when you sell your shares.
Yeah.
Right. So only when a company is big, then you can sell your share.
Yep.
Right. So what we realize is that our angel investors have money, they have interest, but they don't invest as much as they should. And they tell us it's because we don't have time. We don't have expertise. Right? You give me a company today that looks good, I don't know whether the next one is going to be better. Right? Because I have limited funds. Right? So to address that, we came up with a fund.
Okay.
Right? You park your money in the fund. We will invest in 40 companies. So the minimum for members is $10,000 to invest in the fund. Right? That $10,000 will be spread out among 40 companies.
Okay.
Right? And not only that, but they form a community. They help each other. We are part of the community. We add value to the community, and we help them to grow. Because Alhamdulillah, not to blow our own trumpet or what, but after doing this for 10 years, in Malaysia, Indonesia especially, we know most of the stakeholders and they know us.
Okay.
You want to talk to any Islamic bank, it's one WhatsApp away or two WhatsApps away.
I see.
Okay, come on, Ami.
Right? Talk to the regulators. You can just make a call for you.
Yeah.
Talk to big foundations or whatever, right? And Alhamdulillah, we have that network.
Okay.
So we can support them because we can't. When you were thinking about Hassan last year, I was thinking, how do we extract value from our 10 years?
Yeah.
And then we realized we can't. We only can give it forward. We only can pay it forward.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do with our cohort.
Okay.
Yeah, with our accelerator program.
So it goes the same for your stakeholders and investors. Like for you to be paying them forward is for you to bring them an opportunity that is not really out there
Yes,
and has a lot of potential.
correct. But like I said, it's not for everyone because it's long term lah.
Yeah.
You're not going to get money next month, next year.
I was just about to ask because my question was previously I asked you about from the business perspective, how do I join the accelerator?
Yeah.
Right. So now, if I'm the investor and I'm like investing, when and how often can I see my returns? Do I get like payout like every month so I don't have to work or?
So in most investors, for most investors, this kind of investment would be a small part of your entire investment strategy,
Yes.
right? Although there are people who put all their money in this kind of business, in this kind of opportunity because they like it. It's up to you lah, right? But if you want income, dividends, payouts, then this is not for you, right? A VC fund is usually 7 to 10 years, long time.
A long time.
7 years later, then you get to see your money back.
Yeah.
Right? But what we have done and what some companies do is from year 3 onwards, we will seek for smaller exits. Meaning we have 40 companies kan?
Yes.
In 3 years time, maybe there's 5 to 10 of them that are doing very well or quite well. Those doing very well, we don't want to sell first. We wait for 7 years.
Okay.
Could they become $1 billion, right?
Yes.
But those who are good but not likely to go up to the moon, they call it.
Yeah.
Those are the companies we'll try to sell our shares in year 3, 4 and 5. So as and when we sell shares of the companies that we own, the equity that we own, the money is distributed back to the investors. Because we realize and we know that for any investment program, the faster you can give back some money, the better.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
investors feel that my money is working and this thing is working.
Yeah.
And then it's recycled. Yeah. So 3 to 5 years, there should be some payouts, non-guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right? And then at the end of it, 7 years, then the whole thing is closed and all the monies are distributed.
Oh.
Okay.
That's how it works.
So that means you have a timeline for those who join this accelerator program on when as an entire VC you want to exit as a whole, is it?
Correct. All VCs need to exit at some point in time. That's how they make money, kan?
Yes.
So usually it's 7 years to 10 years. Yeah.
So that means like the recent group that you mentioned earlier, the 10 companies that you guys are investing in,
Yes.
in 7 years time that will be the likely exit for all the companies.
Correct. Some of them will be 3 to 5 years and some of them will be 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Those who don't make it, there's no exit lah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Speaking of exit, have you ever thought about exiting?
Yes, we had a few acquisition offers actually in the past.
For Ethis or for Hassan?
For Ethis.
Okay.
Ethis.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
now we have one on the table also, but we are still negotiating lah. Because we want to sell to people who will bring forward the
Company.
company,
Yeah.
the cause, not just the company.
Yeah.
When I say exit, meaning big investor comes in, significant shareholding.
Yeah.
Our own angel investors get to cash out, right? But most likely, my co-founder Ronald and I, we will want to continue. But we become more of employees lah.
Yeah.
Now there's a new owner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but we've cashed out lah, inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See. Okay. Yeah. So earlier you mentioned about having that 40 startups in the accelerator program for within the next 2 years. I think you mentioned, right?
Yes.
So what happens after the 2 years? Like, are you still gonna continue to find the next 40 or?
Yeah. So funds is like one business.
Yeah.
Right. So we start the first fund. We raise funding from the crowd, from our members. Minimum $10,000. We accumulate a few $1 million, right? So then we invest. The 2 years is the investment period.
Yeah.
We run the programs and we deploy the funds, right? At the end of the 2 years, we stop investing and we focus on supporting, facilitating the companies towards their growth and their exit until the 7 years. Right. So that is one fund on its own. We may have more funds that will go through the same cycle or similar cycle. Yeah. Most likely we will go for, now it's like very early stage fund. Each company we give $60,000. It's not big. Right. These companies are worth $500,000. Some of them are just ideas, not idea, MVP stage, like early stage. In future, we'll probably want to have some larger funds for later stage. So we can invest in this 40 when they go to a later stage. They need $5 million, $3 million. If we have a bigger fund, we can also invest in that round. Yeah, so that's potentially the plan.
Okay, so that means right now you have one fund because you guys are starting out, and then from this fund you are hoping to cash out from these 40 startups. But in the near future, maybe 2-3 years down the road, because you are also cashing out a bit from the first fund, and on top of that, you may be onboarding new investors. So that is when you come up with a second fund for the second cohort of people to be a part of this.
For us, we have a few large investors who wanted to invest in our fund. But it takes time to deal with large investors. And when the market is unstable, it takes longer time. So we decided just go to the community first, build our track record. The big money is always there looking for good deals. Right? But when it's your first time doing, it will take a long time to talk to them. So we just go based on the power of the people, right? On both sides. People are investing in the fund is investing in people. That's why on our website we put people-powered VC fund. Right? And already the bigger investors are coming to us. Right? But we tell them wait for the next fund.
Okay. I want to ask a bit more on the marketing angle.
Sure.
How are you able to get people to join, to be part of the, a member
program?
To be a member and then like start investing. That's one. Secondly, how are you marketing to those people who are perhaps the high net worth, people who have money to be the angel? Because these people are, I don't know, they're not pretty much on social media as often as the common folks.
Correct.
It's quite tricky. Most of our growth has come from word of mouth. And virtual small private gatherings. So we speak to someone, let's say from Saudi. We have quite a number of investors from Saudi, right? So he says, I'm interested, I want to be part of it. I'm working in Aramco, for example, which is a big oil company, right? All my friends have money also. They also care about halal. So then we arrange a small gathering, 5 people, 10 people online. We explain to them, and then it just continues. So it's just small groups of people bringing their friends and spreading it. Of course, we do general social media, SEO. We do all those things to be more to have more online presence. But most of the investments or the active members come from direct networks. Because for a high ticket item like this, it's digital marketing has many touch points. Takes a long time.
Correct. Okay. So I mean, this is something that I am actually facing for my own business. My partner have been growing the business based on connections. Speaking to people like you mentioned, a small group of meeting, and then that's how we got to know each other business, leverage on each other business. But to me, this is not a scalable model. But for you, that is also the way that you're going. So how else are you doing in terms of client acquisition or investor acquisition to be coming up with a certain a certain SOP for it to scale further in the future?
Right. Now this consideration of scalability is very important, right? One thing I like to share is a lot of times at the early stage, you need to do things that are not scalable.
Okay.
Right? Because you need to break out of a certain pass some barriers or some challenges, right? So you just have to do what you need to do to reach to that stage. As you do it, you always look for ways to have either what they call a network effect or a flywheel effect, where things will start growing on its own. Right? So for us, we know that now is mainly on the investor side. Right? As more investors join, more of their friends know. As more startups come into our portfolio and they do well, they have good news and all that, then it will attract more investors. If you attract more investors, you attract more startups. You attract more startups, you attract, So that is the
Cycle.
network effect or cycle that we're looking at. But in the early stage, it has to be more manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes you have a new business altogether, you want to do digital marketing, but maybe just putting flyers will have more effect.
True.
Maybe, but for the interim period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, you guys are investing in startups. This is also an issue, right? Because at the start, you can't really see how they are going to scale.
Correct.
Yeah.
So is this the risk that you are taking, or there are some other metric that you are looking at in terms of knowing whether this is a decent startup for me to be investing on or not?
Sure. So I can categorize the startups we invest in into two types. Right? One are very focused on Muslim lifestyle or Muslim behavior, right? And some are for everybody.
Okay.
For example, in our recent cohort, we have 6 companies focused on Quran.
Okay.
6 startups. One is an AI Quran reading app. One is macam-macam.
Okay.
Very interesting. So they're making very good money. This Quran's app is making more money than me.
Interesting.
Right. So that's one area lah. So for that area, it's fast emerging, and nobody's focused on it, right?
Yeah.
So the ability for us as the investor to first, we can see these are all the different players.
Yeah.
Right. If a random VC comes in and looks at one Quran app, there's no context.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. But when you know who are the 10 different Quran apps and you have 4 of them in your portfolio or in your cohort at least, you have a better understanding.
Yes.
Like, what can work, what can scale, what's missing, what people are doing right, what people are not doing right. So that's the benefit that we have as an investor. One thing very interesting. Over the past 1 year only, maybe 1.5 years, there are more and more of these kind of Islamic focused startups coming up, or halal focused. And because there's no halal VC, they're getting investment from all these top VCs globally.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, there's now a few unicorns already. So the traditional or conventional VCs have seen the opportunity in the halal space, but we Muslims are slow at recognizing it and investing in it.
Yeah.
I'll give you one incident when I was with the party that didn't work out, a bad partner.
Yeah.
Powerful rich bad partners. They sat me down, and this was before I found out what they wanted to do.
Yeah, the hidden agenda.
So they used me a lot to pitch to a lot of people.
Okay.
Right? And they said, we just want to know our market value. Actually, they were using me to sell my own company without me knowing.
Okay.
But that's another story lah. So once I met this guy from China in Penang. I had to fly to Penang to meet the guy. And he's from a big listed group, and they have P2P companies there. And they wanted to invest, right? So my presentation was in English with a translator, right? Big short guy. At the end of it, I asked the translator, because they had no expression. It's like, what does he think? And then he spoke a few words. The translation was very long. I don't know whether it's correct or not. But the translation is, the chairman said, Muslim business very good. Loyal customers, low competition. Tell me what you need, I will invest.
Oh,
from China, can't even speak English. You can see the opportunity in the halal space. And what he said is true. Less competition.
Yes, definitely.
More loyal. Right?
Because we believe in the product already, right? As Muslims.
You're connected to the product.
Yes.
You know, like, I'll give an example. I'll highlight a company, and I have nothing against them, and I know the people behind it, I know the investors behind it, and they are great company. I want to highlight a point, right? So most of us in Singapore use Muslim Pro.
Yes.
Right? Do you all use Muslim Pro? Yeah. Do you know who owns Muslim Pro?
Yeah, one of the lady, Farah Abdullah.
She's the CEO.
CEO.
She's employed. So Muslim Pro was founded by a person in Singapore, French revert guy, like 15 years ago or something.
Okay.
And he grew it huge until it became huge, but he couldn't find a Muslim buyer, and it was sold to a private equity firm.
Okay.
Called Bintang Partners and a few others, right? So it's not owned by a Muslim, basically. Arguably the biggest tech asset of the Muslim world, because it has 150 million people, I think, using the app today.
Yep.
It's not owned by Muslims.
Oh.
So how tragic is that?
Yeah.
Don't stop using Muslim Pro. They are good.
Yeah.
I'm not talking bad about them. I'm reflecting on our state
Yes.
as a community.
Yeah, as a Muslim community.
Yeah, that
why
we
are
can't
we not?
even own our own assets that our own people build for ourselves.
Yeah.
Look at the halal supply chain. Who controls it?
Yeah.
Brazil. Our chicken is from Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can Indonesia rare chickens? You get my point, right?
Yeah.
So today, with the pandemic, firstly, with geopolitics, let's just call it that.
Yeah.
Right. I think you want some keywords inside your
Yes.
geopolitics, right? The world has changed, and it will keep changing. And
Yeah.
everybody wants better solutions, and Islam has the solutions. And I'm not the genius that's come up with ethics. I'm not the genius that's looking at all the top Islamic companies. We are all trying to bring out what is already there in Islam. The perfect solution is there,
Yes.
right? It's about how we bring it out to life in this modern world.
Yeah, and
So that's
how
a-
we can elevate the community as well.
Exactly, and it's for Muslims and non-Muslims.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, more and more non-Muslims are recognizing the value of Islamic
Yeah.
finance,
Yeah.
halal,
Yes.
right? Because
It's true.
capitalism has
Yeah.
no ethics, right?
Because they know that it's much more sustainable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ESG and all these things, right?
Yes.
And cleaner too.
Very cleaner, yeah. When somebody asks me, why not just take an ethical paradigm instead of a religious paradigm, right? There are all these ethical frameworks,
Yeah,
correct.
impact investing, blah, blah, blah. To them, the difference is, my understanding, based also on what I read and learn, if it's based on Islam, the fundamentals don't change. The application and the context can change. But if you base it on human morality,
It can
human
change.
morality changes all the time, right?
Yeah.
What is fine today is not fine 10 years ago,
Yes.
which wasn't
Yeah.
fine 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? It's based on our nafsu,
Yes.
on our desires. Right? So that's the beauty of Islam. It has stayed the same from the first man until today. Okay, I'm not here to preach lah, but
but that is a powerful golden nugget because I think with a lot of people loosely using ethical here and there,
Yeah.
then you talking about focusing on the basic fundamentals of Islamic teachings, how we do business in Islam. I think that is actually a brilliant golden nugget lah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
and for all of you, I mean, like you mentioned, you have a lot of business owners. Now is the time to try. Now is the time to do it. The world is changing. Preferences are changing. Everybody needs better, more ethical solutions.
Yeah.
Right? For those of you who don't have the interest, then and you have cash, then look to invest.
Yeah.
Right? Put your money where it makes a difference.
Yeah.
You give your money to Apple, stop. Halal. They say Apple is halal.
Yeah.
You know, is your money, is your money doing anything to make the world better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple doesn't need your money. They don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But you invest in a startup, only one you will lose your money.
Yeah.
But if you invest in a portfolio, then inshallah you are supporting the next generation, the next wave.
Yes.
Awesome.
I think that is a good way to
End the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we've already gotten like a ton of golden nuggets
Yeah.
from part 1 all the way to part 3.
Yeah.
But yet at the same time, I'm pretty sure the listeners, the audience, the viewers, they might still have some questions for Mr. Umar Munshi.
Yes.
You guys can actually get connected to him personally on LinkedIn and Instagram. Sorry, LinkedIn and Facebook. I assume you are more active on LinkedIn, right? But at the same time, where else can they find you?
I think mostly LinkedIn.
Mostly LinkedIn.
I'm about to start TikTok. I'm supposed to start, but I have not started.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
And for them to know more about Hassan, where can they go?
Hassan.vc.
Okay.
Just the website
Simple.
directly.
Yeah.
Easy, eh?
Yeah.
Hassan.vc.
Hassan with one S. Hassan, actually, the word Hassan originally is Halal Super Angels.
Oh.
But Hassan also means good. Right? In
Yeah.
Arabic, right? It
Yes.
means good. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'd like to say thank you, Umar, for being here and
Yes,
sharing
my
with
pleasure.
us a ton of wisdom, especially with regards to finance, Sharia, halal, finance related stuff. And at the same time, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you get like your own golden nuggets. And as always,
Is there
thank
like
you.
a golden nugget leaderboard? Tak ada. Should have one.
Yeah,
Behind the scenes ada, but that one is in the Spotify rankings. So thank you everybody. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.